Hi, I'm Justin Aquilante, ESA Sales Director, here today with Rafe Khan, Director, Energy Storage for Pine Gate Renewables. Rafe, welcome.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for having me. My name is Rafi Khan. I'm the Director of Energy Storage at Pine Gate Renewables. Pine Gate Renewables is a vertically integrated independent power producer headquartered out of North Carolina. And my role is focused on development and integration of energy storage and demand response across North America.
Rafe, what is the lifespan of a typical battery storage system on a solar project?
The lifespan of a typical battery system depends on kind of three broad factors. Design basis, which includes oversizing, aux and parasitic loads, augmentation strategy, the use case of the battery, whether it's used for energy arbitrage, frequency response, black start, etc. And of course, the chemistry of the battery itself, whether it's lithium ion, fuel cells, flow batteries, zinc, etc. It's really hard to give a blanket answer, but we have seen contracted agreements from 5 years all the way up to 25 years with strategic planning and maintenance. The technology is rapidly changing, so we are seeing innovations taking place that are going to potentially extend the useful life of these batteries for several more calendar years or cycles as well.
Rafe, what are the most common pitfalls developers make when considering storage?
Yeah, there are several things that can be blind spots for developers in the project execution lifecycle. And one of the key things is the ability to both qualify and quantify associated risk factors. For example, you have supply chain risk, environmental risk, engineering bottlenecks, constructability, regulatory risk, as well as interconnection, to kind of name a few. These risks can have a cascading effect on the project execution lifecycle and the overall success of the project. So plan early and take a data-driven approach to solve these multidimensional problems.
Rafe, are there certain geographic regions where storage makes more sense?
If you're talking strictly about the US market, storage honestly makes sense almost everywhere. Price volatility has increased over the years, and the number of traditional assets that are stressed to perform and are not able to due to a multitude of reasons are helping storage go more mainstream. For example, the drought situation out west is very concerning because hydro assets that would provide firm capacity, that have been providing firm capacity for a long time, are not being able to perform. So the fact that battery storage is a fast responding, flexible, and firm, reliable resource is really beneficial to customers across the value stream. Unfortunately, not all markets were created equal, so the concentration will vary across the US. But it won't take time before storage is present in all states before the end of the decade.
Rafe, how does the average consumer benefit from energy storage?
That's a great question and something that we get from our customers all the time. It really depends which segment we're talking about. In the residential and commercial space, customers in that segment will benefit from storage through backup power and reduction in demand charges. And we see this example play out in places like California and Puerto Rico. In the case of California, the public safety power shutoffs taking place due to the wildfires are causing meaningful challenges to residential and commercial customers alike. Similarly, in Puerto Rico, you have the island getting hit by hurricanes year after year, and people demand uninterrupted power supply to keep their lives kind of in motion. So solar and storage is a very viable, efficient, and effective solution to solve that reliability concern. For larger loads, or in the case of utility scale customers, energy storage provides an opportunity to provide a multitude of services like frequency regulation, reactive power, black start, time of use, capacity shifting, etc. If you have to qualify the value of storage for the average consumer, they would benefit through reliable continuity of service at lower rates, effectively cutting down their electricity costs every X number of years. Obviously, this assumes further renewable build out, localized economies of scale, and cost savings and incentives effectively pass down the value chain uh, in the process.
Rafe, are there any factors that are inhibiting solar plus storage growth right now?
Energy storage is here to stay. But although we are in relatively nascent stages before massive build out occurs, there are three major factors that need to be addressed. Those are cost, regulation, and skilled labor. On the cost side, we all know as an industry that the cost curves today are not really where we want them to be. And that's creating a lot of pressure on developers across the board to get projects across the finish line. We do believe that with investment from government and incentivizing localized economies of scale, as well as innovations that are both homegrown and take advantage of local support, will really help us meet those cost curves earlier than projected. On the regulation side, we need to work as an industry with our regulators to create effective and efficient mechanisms for the proliferation of more storage. Currently, what we see, and this should be no surprise, that energy storage policy is lopsided, where some states are more favorable than others. As an industry, we all want to work on a level playing field where we can actually pass on the benefits of energy storage to everybody in the value chain. And then last but not the least, skilled labor. This is an issue that needs to be addressed by both academia and government, and it would require multi-stakeholder engagement to ensure we are truly building for the future by investing in our future today.
Rafe, thanks for joining me here today. I got a couple key takeaways from our conversation. One, partnering with regulators to create effective and efficient policy frameworks. Two, work with local, state, and federal governments to upscale or rescale the labor force. And lastly, investing in localized economies to take advantage of homegrown innovations and apply them to the US markets to help the US be a global leader in the energy storage space. Thank you for joining me here today. Very insightful interview, and I look forward to connecting with you in the future.
Thank you so much, Justin, for the opportunity and the time, and hope the audience learned a lot today, and see you all in Phoenix.